Okay, welcome to the tutorial for the data entry worksheet. This is where AI submits all of our budgets in order to spend money out of our chart fields. So to start, once you arrive at the multi-data entry worksheet, the chart field is the first thing you want to plug in. So business unit is the ministry that we're part of, so that's almost always AIMN. Operating unit is your location, so I'm in Xenia. Department ID is going to either be like campus national, campus regional, or campus staff. And the project ID will be kind of the chart field purpose. And so I'm going to use the leadership development chart field because that one doesn't have a budget in it. And so I can show you guys a clean sheet. Next thing, you want to make sure that this year matches this fiscal year over here. So we'll change that to 2016. And we're going to click load saved budget. So you can actually click load actuals as well, and that will give you how much money you've spent according to these different GL categories and per month at any point in the year. So I'll kind of run through the columns right now. We've got the GL account description. That will pop up once you plug in your GL account number, which is the category in which you would spend money. And then it's got the 12 months. And there's a dialog box. You can enter in a number for how much you would spend in each month. It will total in each category, and then it will give you your overall total. And so it does that for your revenue totals and your expense totals. For winter retreats, revenues is going to be donations and the registrations of students. Your expense total is going to be your all your expenses for the retreat. Now, there can be some internal transactions. What these two are here for. Your internal revenue is transfers from staff accounts and transfers from other operating accounts into your retreat. And then the expense totals are transfers from your operating account to another operating account or staff accounts. So I'm going to kind of show you how this works. So when we go to the link over here in the director's notebook for the GL account codes, that's going to bring us up this document right here. And so that gives you all the different categories for revenues and expenses. We're generally going to use the simple general ones. So to start off, one of the things that we know is that we are going to have conference event registrations. So if I'm looking at this document right here, we're looking at the number 41100, and that's conference and events registrations. So let's type in 41100 over here, and then our retreat takes place in January. So we're going to highlight that, and we'll estimate 100 students at $100 each. And so then we end up with $10,000 is going to come in January. Okay, so then I can come over here to the action column and click submit. Now we see all those numbers popped up, January revenue totals, and the total in the totals column. And you can see our revenue totals is 10,000, and our net income is now 10,000. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to expenses. So scroll down here. We'll say that we were going to do supplies general. Okay, so 64,000, sorry. I'm going to go back here, and we're going to go into the expenses section right here. So 6,400,000. And let's say you're going to be buying supplies all the way up to the point of the retreat. So let's say you spend $1,000 on supplies in November, and $1,000 in supplies in December, and 1,000 in January. Okay, and now when we submit that row, we can see that the totals match up. Okay, So it's showing us that we're spending money here without having money come in, but that our total net income for the year is going to be $7,000. Okay, so now let's say that you have staff account transfers. So you've got 20 staff who are also being charged $100. So we're going to go over here to the internal funding transfers. So if we say that it's an internal funding transfer revenue, so we can just use the general one, the 70,000. So we're going to come back over here and we're going to type in 70,000. Okay. And staff account transfers up in here. So 20 staff at $100. And so we end up with 2,000. Okay. And we'll submit that line. All right. And so now our net income is back up to 9,000. Okay. And so when you're all done, you click save. And then you can submit all up here. And then you should be good to go. And then your budget would be submitted. So a lot of times it's easier to work with a budget sheet in Excel or Google Sheets beforehand, so you know where to plug in what as you come up through that. And there's one of those examples in the director's notebook. So be sure to check it out. Thanks.